Welcome to the We Buy Houses podcast with our host, Brian Spitz, president of Big State Homebuyers, leading the seamless approach to real estate investing in Houston since 2005. Brian's specialty in this large wholesale operation is facilitating real estate solutions for people wanting to sell quickly. Each week, we discuss the ins and outs of wholesale real estate investing and related topics by professionals who matter. And now, here's Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian Spitz, president of Big State Homebuyers, and today I'm visiting with Ava Profata, who is a grief specialist. She deals with a lot of different things. Her company is the Inner Loop Council, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to grieve the loss of a family member, particularly a spouse or a parent. So thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So at Inner Loop Counseling, what we do is we work with addiction, trauma, and grief and loss. When a parent dies, it can be an extremely devastating process. And sometimes there's a move involved. For example, maybe we had been living in a place that accommodated a parent, and now we're going to downsize, or maybe we have had a child leave, or perhaps a spouse has died, and so now we're having to change our residence. On top of the grief and loss from our family member dying, there can be a lot of grief from the changes that occur. It's so important to talk to someone about the changes, especially when there's the grief of a loved one. If a loved one has passed, it's often helpful to get in a support group that is specifically for loss of a loved one. There are a lot of places here in Houston that have free support groups for grief and loss, and usually they're held at one of the hospices, one of the local hospices, and it doesn't matter whether your loved one was a part of that hospice or not. You can still join a grief group. So that's one of the best resources in town for having lost a loved one. In the home buying process, after a loved one has died, it can be a little difficult to make decisions. Our cognitive abilities are just sort of slowed down, almost like we're thinking in quicksand. It's much more difficult to make decisions. And so it's best to just let the decisions take a little bit, and also get advice from someone who really knows what this process is like. And I love that your company is really invested in the clients and helping them make the decisions. That's extremely helpful, because when we have the information, even if we're having trouble remembering, we can write down the pieces, the facts, and what we do with that, and what it's going to take to make the changes. That's extraordinarily helpful if we can have somebody walk us through the process. It's helpful to tackle one task at a time when we're in the process of grief. It's very helpful. So I really like that you guys are so informative and supportive of your clients that are either buying or selling a house.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a service that we're very proud of. You can find out more about the grieving process and what Ava's company does at innerloopcouncil.com. You can find out more about Big State Homebuyers and how we can be of service to you if you have a property that you need to sell at bigstatehomebuyers.com. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Yes.
That was like a little commercial.
You've been listening to We Buy Houses with your host, Brian Spitz, president of Big State Homebuyers. Don't forget to visit our website, bigstatehomebuyers.com, for more information on how to sell your house. We pay $500 for referrals, so tell your friends too.